good. Look. I got me another vampire show, hunter show. I'm living the dream right now.
I mean, look at your background. You're like totally roughing it.
With you, I was like, it's gonna be okay. Just be together. It's gonna be all right. You just gonna see me. I love it. One of the things that I love about this series is that, you know, our female characters, they get to really take lead and they get to kick ass, but they get to have agency over themselves. And I wanted to know for you, how is it actually being a part of this series that will show a lot of young people, but especially young women out there, that they have the right to decide the life that they want to live and who they want to be with?
I think the representation in this show really shines a light on that very topic. And I think we're both so honored to be able to like embody characters that represent such strength and trueness of self. And we can only hope that in watching this show that young girls out there and all the other communities that we represent in this show feel seen and feel heard and feel a different kind of inspiration to stand true in their strength and in their power and in their truth. And we're just so excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah, truly.
How about you, Sarah Catherine?
I mean, she said it so beautifully. I don't even know how I could top that. It's so true, though. I mean, I'm just really excited for people from no matter what community you come from, like this, to be able to see yourselves in these characters. And I also really feel like there's something for everyone in this show.
Absolutely.
It's for all audiences.
But I mean, also too, you're going to be new badass characters that people are going to be like, I want to be like them. But I want to know from both of you, you know, who are some of the badass people in your life that helped inspire you to get to where you are today?
Oh, that's such a cool question. I'll go ahead and say my mom. I feel like my mom is such a superhero. I'm even wearing a dress that she's a stylist, and she's just really cool. And actually she was my reader for this audition. So I'm giving her a shout out now. There you go. Thank you, Mother. But yeah, she's definitely a superhero to me. Yeah.
I think I'd have to say my manager. She's the one that was like, Imani, you can do this. Like when it came to acting, she was like, you can do this. You are capable. You are talented. You are skilled. Give it a shot. And I think that she's constantly instilling a different kind of strength in me and a different kind of confidence in me and in my ability. So shout out to T.
Shout out to T.
I'm here for both of them. I mean, but what are some things, like, what is the message? You know, after everyone watches the first season and they want a second season, what is the message that you want audiences to be left thinking about after watching the series?
We want them to be completely befuddled. Left being like, what just happened?
Right.
But I think more importantly, and I might have said this earlier, but we just want people to relate to these characters and to see themselves and you've been saying it so well, but like, just not be afraid. I mean, just accept change in yourself and growth and learning new things about yourself. And
absolutely. I think I want them to be able to see their own conflicts and their own struggles and challenges in their world, even if that's the communities that they're in or the cultures or religions that they're attached to, but still welcome change and welcome the evolution of themselves, and so that they can be at their full potential, you know, and really be happy.
Totally.
Look, I just want to thank the both of you for taking time out of your day to speak to me. I'm just sending so much love and light both your ways, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. You
too.
Bye. Hi, how are you doing today?
Oh, Saran, I'm so happy to talk to you. You look beautiful. I love top with the backdrop that you have. It's so kind of dramatic and fierce. It's beautiful.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. This is the first time I've got real clothes all week, so thank you for that.
Of course. No, it's completely true. I was like, look, oh, that's a poster right there. That's good. So hi.
What today?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. I was working on a show that I'm doing and got to come back and talk about this show that I'm so happy for people to see. It's great.
Look, one of the things that I love about this series is that not only do we have this series that are really centered around the women. And I love seeing that for a change. And I wanted to know for you, like, how is it actually being able to be a part of the show where women get to have agency over themselves?
What a great question. Part of what drew me to this was Victoria Schwab and the way that she writes, and how she is so woman friendly, right? And then to know this was going to be a matriarchal society going in, and then I met Felicia, who is a fierce, funny, strong, kind, wonderful woman, and I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. And then I looked at the call sheet, and it's like the first 4, it's all women. I mean, and I don't think I've ever had that happen before. So I was very excited about it. And it's been so fun to discuss this character with Felicia, you know, with any of our group, with our cast. We try to make these kind of strong, true choices, and man, we have been given the power to do so. And I've loved it. That part has been amazing. It really has.
But it's also great with your character is that, you know, she is this person. I don't want to give anything away, but, you know, she has a high position, okay, in her society.
A high position, yeah.
Yeah, but also, too, she's a mother. She is a wife. Like, there's so many different facets, and you get to see that, you know what, it's a little hard being a matriarch of the family.
It is hard. And I think in Margot's particular position, she hasn't always been the top rung, let's say, right? So I think that as we see her start to take that over, we start to see a different side of her and realize that maybe she's not entirely what we thought, which is really what drew me to the idea of the character, you know, to have maybe a tiny bit of a rebel in there without giving anything away. It was kind of fun.
But look, I'm still side-eyeing Margot a little bit. You know, I just have my days. I'm like, I want to be on your side, but I don't know if I can be on your side. I'm just saying.
I mean, she's a predator, right? Like, I do feel like, I'm not sure that I'd invite Margot for tea, right? Like, I feel like I would be a little reticent to invite her into my home even, but I do feel that she does love her family tremendously. And that's the way in for Margot, isn't it? Because the rest of it, I wouldn't trust her at all, really.
But look, Margot is still a badass, and that's what I love about her in the series. But I want to know for you, like, who are some of the badass women that helped inspire you to where you are today?
Oh gosh, my family, my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother was an aerospace engineer. My mother is a lawyer who put herself through law school and was the first partner in her firm. And I feel like those two kind of taught me about that kind of firm, strong, empathetic grace that I try to embrace in every part of my life. They are accepting women. They want to have people feel like they're always included. They draw people in rather than keep people out. And I have tried so hard to live up to their strength and their beauty.
I was like, can I get a TV show about them? A lawyer and an aerospace engineer?
You know, it's amazing. They are the most, I mean, you know, I lost my grandma, but she was so kind. She and her 2 sisters, they called them the 3 Graces, just lovely, like lovely. I mean, strong, strong women. And it's funny because when I met Felicia, I was like, oh my gosh, you feel so familiar to me, right? Because that kind of grace and that kind of strength and that kind of intelligence, it's just such a joy to be around. So I was instantly like, yes, okay, I'll just do what you want. What do you want? I'll do it.
But look, Margot, you know, Margot is still grappling with decisions that she's made in her past. And I love that kind of struggle, you know, did I make the right decision or did I not? And I want to know for you, like, how do you make sure navigating through this career that you learn to just fully accept your choices on this journey?
Oh my goodness. I love that question. You know, here's the thing. I don't think I plan for things. I'm not much of a planner. I'm a jump off a cliffer, right? So I think that for me, I'm like a little kid, you know, in the candy store. I'm like, that piece looks good. And then I would like to have that one. And you know what I'm really craving now is this one back there. So unfortunately, I haven't plotted anything out. I fly by the seat of my pants. Things that are fascinating to me, I do. When I'm not fascinated, I stay home and hang out on my sweet little farm. And I feel like both parts of my life are a real joy.
I mean, are there any characteristics? You've played so many different characters in your career. But what is it about Margot? Outside of Margot, we know she's a predator, but Margot still has her life and her experiences. What is one thing that you kind of want to take from your character and apply it to your real life?
Oh, come on with these questions. This is great. I love her stillness. I also really absolutely have to admire her love for her husband. You know, like she has found her partner for life, right? And I feel like that kind of loyalty I can only respect. I can only respect someone who is like, this is my, this is my lobster. And that is just it. Like if my lobster is gone, it will just be me. And I love that about her. I think that kind of fierce, protective love is kind of great. And she also is fiercely protective of her daughters, which I think is a lovely quality. A strong mom is not a terrible thing.
Look, Margot's a ride or die. And I mean, I love the complexity in the relationship with her husband, because I love that there's still ambition that Margot has, but it will never outride the love that she has for her family or her husband. And how is it actually bringing those characteristics of Margot, out on screen?
So it was made so easy by the people I got to play with, right? So I get to play with Will Swenson, who is, also married to an incredibly strong woman. So knows kind of what that's about, and incredibly talented and the best actress of our generation. It doesn't matter, but I think that for me playing with him, he was so able to graciously give power at every opportunity that it was a joy to play with him and figure out those dynamics. Aubin Wise was so fun because she comes in with so much strength and grace and just so wonderful that I just want to rise to that occasion. And then the girls were so ready for me to be their mom, right? Like they were so loving and they played into being, kids with all their different things. So for me, in my work here, I just got to react to a lot of really lovely actors. And that is a gift as an actor. If you just sit there and you're like, well, I don't have to do a whole lot here. It's all being done right in front of me. It's great.
Well, look, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to speak with me. I appreciate you. And I'm just sending nothing but love and light your way. I hope you have a great day.
Oh my goodness, you too. What a wonderful thing to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. How are you doing today?
I'm like, I can barely let you say your name because I see your background and I'm like, I'm ready to jump in.
Look, I got to stay in the theme now. I'm going to get it together.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you, Sharonda.
No, I have to thank you. Do you know that you made my entire childhood, adulthood, all the shows that you have participated and worked on? Like, man, you have you. And I love TV shows, okay? I just need you to know that.
I do. I appreciate that. And I thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you.
I mean, but for someone who's worked on all of these iconic series, like, how do you go to first kill? Like, how do you pick what is next? When you've done everything, how do you make sure, when you choose the next project, like, what are the reasons that you decide to work on a series?
Thank you for that. That's a good question because I do give it a lot of thought. I feel like I'm at a place in my career and certainly in my age that I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. I don't do anything for money. I don't do anything because wouldn't that be cool? I have to have a reason that resonates with me and my soul. And so for me, this thing and my next two projects are all things that I believe are necessary and also where I can grow. As hopefully I'm always growing. And for First Kill, having these two powerful young women at the center. I love stories about powerful women, and then having their mothers, both of their mothers running these matriarchal families as heads of matriarchal families. So you have strong adult women as well. That speaks to me. Having a Black family in a space where we don't usually see Black characters en masse also speaks to me. To be a part of that representation, to be a part of a three-dimensional representation of queer love in young girls, because I have those girls in my life. And I have some people in my life who are in their 20s and 30s who struggled with their coming out. And I think about, what if they would have had this show when they were 16? I want to be part of that. This is actually important. I always enter everything with my first job is to entertain. But while entertaining, how am I feeding my soul? And all of those, this show provided all of that for me.
Look, I could see it. I just want to say, watching series like this, a young adult series that actually show the Black experience, like that was a thing for me. Like, it's the little details in this series, from, one of the brothers fighting a monster with a do-rag on. Like, my spirit was so happy. I was like, I can't believe I'm getting this right now.
Yes.
So, dominoes. Like, can you talk about those little things that people who live the experience will notice while watching?
Well, I have to say my hat goes off to, and I have to give props to Netflix, to Victoria, and to Bellatrix, who's Emma Roberts, and Kara Priest, because they all knew that having that voice in the room was important. So they looked for me. They came for me. And so I have such respect for them for knowing that I should be in the room, that a Black woman with my experience should be in the room. And so therefore, I get to add those tiny little things. I get to, it was funny, there was one time where you saw it when the brother says, "Mom, can I please tell him to go to hell?" And she said, "Yeah, if you got somewhere else to live." And I remember Victoria going, "That's so mean. Is she going to really say that?" I said, "Trust me when I tell you, there's a big part of your audience is going to be like, yes, when they see it." So that's what's so wonderful about the collaboration, is that we come from such different backgrounds and bring such different strengths to the table. And you put all that together, have to shout out our director, Jet Wilkinson, who brought a whole other ability and just to take us to another layer, because she's so freaking amazing and has yet a different experience, as a Asian Australian woman, queer woman, that she brought then to the table as well. So it was a pretty kick-ass group of women making this show about kick-ass women.
Look, but while speaking about kick-ass women, I love that we get to see the dynamic between the two matriarchs, even in relation to our main characters. But I want to know for you, because this series is going to inspire so many other people out there to be badasses themselves. But who were some of the badass people in your life that helped inspire you?
Oh, that's such a good question. In some ways, I have typical answers in some ways, in that I had a weird combination of parents, in that my mother, was all love. Whatever you think you can do, you can do. Whatever you want to do, no matter what I said. And I changed often, so I'm gonna be a firefighter. She bought me a helmet. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be president. Whatever I said, she made sure I felt supported. And my dad was complete opposite, in that he was like, "You don't work hard, you don't get it. Don't, if he saw me crying, what are you crying about? Is crying gonna help you get where you want to go?" So I had this combination. And so for me, my dad obviously is a man, but those are my biggest role models. And then in the business, I think my first role models were Sarah Finney Johnson and Vita Spears, because they took me up. I met them on my first job, Family Matters. And they scooped me up and put me under their wing and just taught me everything they thought I needed to know to stay in this business, because they saw me making mistakes. and they just swooped me up. So I'll always be grateful, to those two giants who, weren't too big to take me under their wing. And then I have my sort of contemporaries that are my role models, Mara Brock Akil and Gina Prince Bythewood. It's weird to go, those are my role models, but iron sharpens iron. And those are my girls right there. So they're my role models, because we see each other making it and we support each other. And, so that's pretty much it.
That's just pretty much all these legends. That's just
my role models are the legends.
And you one too, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But after the audiences get to watch First Kill, what is that one thing that you really hope stays with everyone? That one takeaway that after they finish the series, like this is what's going to be on their minds and their hearts?
Wow, that's a good question. I feel like there are two things. I want for people to see Calliope, this young, dark brown skin Black girl at the center of this show. And I want other little girls who look like her, as well as women, to know they belong in genre. I hope that more girls and women will start to then read genre and write stories that place them at the center because they've seen it. That's really important to me. They've seen Talia, her mom, and Calliope, and so they know they belong. And that they look like them. I hope they belong. They know they belong. I hope that we have said a thing about intolerance in general, and that we have normalized that who you love is nobody's business but your own. That's a really big thing that I hope people, take away from. And then, of course, I hope they just have a whole bunch of fun.
Look, I'm claiming it, manifesting, it's going to happen, it's done. I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to speak to me. You are a legend, and I just want to send so much love and light your way.
Oh my gosh. I appreciate you, Sharonda. You have brightened my day. I feel and see your spirit, and there's a lot of light. And I thank you for the encouragement, and I thank you for spending this time with me. I thank you for caring enough to watch the show and to just send me so much love. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you. Look, you done blessed my whole life with all the series that I'm watching.
Your whole life.
Okay, my whole life. Okay, it's going to be in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.